don't forget that along with that, about that same period of time, arose the Black Plague, or Black Death. And of course, the Black Death was a plague. Now we understand, history is convinced that it was spread by fleas that were on rats or rodents, and then the fleas that were infected by this bacterium on the rodents then would jump onto humans, and they would get the plague. And but Jews were blamed for the Black Plague. Many, of course, they didn't know what the cause was. They didn't understand the nature of bacteria in those days. And so they didn't know the cause. But what they noted was that the Jews didn't seem to get the plague. And that was very suspicious. Now, why is it that the Jews are not getting the plague and the rest of us are? That's suspicious. In fact, they began to make rumors that the Jews were poisoning the wells. And a tremendous number of Jews were massacred due to this wrong accusation. Of course, now we understand why the Jews were not being affected by the Black Plague. And it has everything to do with the Jewish laws of cleanliness. A rodent is unclean. And there's no way that the Jewish communities are going to allow rodents in their camps. And so as a consequence of the Jewish laws of cleanliness, which God set forth in his word to the Jews, they were saved from the Black Death. And by the way, those rules of cleanliness were very good for the Jews. It included all manner of hand washing, using the bathroom. When the Jews in the camp were needing to use the restroom, they were to take a shovel and go out and bury it. And there are some very good results of a person's life when they maintain a life of cleanliness, and the Jews were the beneficiaries of these good laws. But they were blamed for Black Death, and that was, of course, a very serious thing. And then interestingly, now you have to remember that many people in this time were not educated, and therefore rumors and other false information can easily take hold and spread. Another lie that was being put forth was that Jews were kidnapping children and taking their blood and mixing it with their Passover bread. Now, if you know anything at all about Jewish laws, you would say that is a ridiculous idea. The Jews were forbidden to have anything to do with the eating or consuming of blood, because the blood was the life of the animal, and all life belonged to God and must be honored. And therefore, Jews were forbidden to eat or consume anything having to do with blood. That was a ridiculous idea, but that was spread as a rumor, and it's called blood libel, if you ever read it in history books. That is another example of anti-Semitism that was rising in Europe at the time.